key to the perfect changeup. Let's see. First off, it's got to look the same, right?
Yep.
From a delivery standpoint, can't like slow down or whatever. And then it's got to have some sort of movement difference, and the movement difference can come from a couple different things. It can come from the spin direction, the spin rate, speed. Those are really the things.
Yeah.
So you can create more lift or less lift by tilting the axis, tilting the ball to spin sideways. You can spin it slower, so like a knuckleball has no spin, so it creates no lift. So if you spin a changeup a lot slower, it's going to have a lot more sink or a lot less lift to it. And then you can also just throw it slower. Like Giolito's a good example of that one. He throws it 78, 80 sometimes, but he's throwing mid-90s. So there's a big speed difference there, so gravity just acts on it. Even though the ball backspins and creates lift, the ball is in the air a lot longer, so gravity pulls it down a lot more. Or you can be like Luis Castillo, who throws it 90, but he spins it dead sideways, so it has no lift, so it drops off. But you want to have some sort of depth to it relative to the fastball. Mm-hmm. And that's really what creates a good swing and miss changeup or a good off-contact changeup.
I know, like, a guy that was Bo Brisky, he was like our minor league pitcher of the year. His changeup actually had like a lot of lift to it.
Yeah.
But there was like anywhere from like a 10 to a 12 mile an hour difference with it.
Yeah.
He sold it with arm speed, and like he just had really good command of it.
Yeah, command's a big
nobody
thing.
hit it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
But see, if it's 12 miles an hour difference, they can have the same induced vertical lift.
Right.
Right? But the actual depth change is going to be very big because it's just in the air for that much longer.
Right.
So gravity pulls it down.
Right.
So you get the change up and you get the change in speed, which helps, but you also get the depth to it.
Yeah.
But command is definitely important because if you don't command it well, it doesn't matter really what spin axis the changeup has or what depth it has, unless it's like a Devin Williams, like complete outlier pitch.
Yeah.
It's going to get hit. Wow, what a play.
That was generally my thought, where it's actually for any pitch out of normal, say, pitcher repertoire, a changeup's probably the pitch you want to have the most command of for it to be an elite pitch.
Yeah.
Whereas like a fastball, you can throw really hard and it gets swings and misses. Curveball just spins really well, get a lot of swing and misses. Changeup, if you don't command it the way you want to,
I feel like it's a barrel finder.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah.
So,
unless it has some sort of outlier, but it's really hard to have an outlier component to a changeup.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's not like a breaking pitch where you can get a lot more movement or throw it really hard or whatever. It's
that's
like
what sets.
if you throw it harder, it's more like your fastball, which makes it worse. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like if you can throw it slower, that's the outlier.
Right.
It's tough to do that with maintaining arm speed.
With the same arm speed, right?
I think it also it's really dependent on like what your actual arsenal is. Right?
Yeah, that's very true.
If you're like a fastball, breaking ball guy, then the changeup doesn't necessarily need to have like elite movement characteristics to it.
Yeah.
It's just going to be that thing where, okay, maybe it's just I use this to sneak up on guys.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like me personally, that's somewhat of the way that I've used like my changeup in the past. But if it also goes hand in hand, like the worse your breaking ball is, the more pressure it puts on your changeup, and it's very dependent on what like your arsenal's doing.
Yeah, and having different movement characteristic to it than other pitches is big. Like that's kind of how I use mine. I have a lot of stuff that all my breaking stuff and slow stuff goes glove side.
Yeah.
So, and my fastball, like especially to lefties, I work a lot in to lefties. Yeah. So they can just look for anything that's like in or middle.
Yeah.
They should swing at, because if it's fastball, it's going to be in an area they can hit. And if it's a breaking ball, it's going to come in towards them where they can get the barrel to it.
Right.
So if I can throw something that starts there and goes the other way to like put some doubt in their mind, that's very helpful.
For sure.
Guys that are like Luis Castillo gets in trouble sometimes when he's too heavily reliant on fastball changeup combo because they both go the same direction. He has to throw a slider a little bit to balance out, just to have something that goes the other direction to put doubt in the hitter's mind. So, yeah, changeup's just a finicky pitch. It's the most difficult pitch to have like a really outlier good pitch. I feel like your average slider is a better pitch than your average changeup, if that makes sense.
Right.
Your average curveball is a better pitch than your average changeup.
Right.
which is odd because that's all that's preached in the minor leagues. You got to have a good changeup, and then you get to the big leagues and you're like, yeah, don't throw that anymore. Just throw breakers.
Yeah.